Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the Mustang Mindset. And I think to start us off, if you guys could just introduce yourselves, where you're from, and like what position you are and everything.
Hi guys, I'm Sidney Richards. I'm a 4th year here. My major is interdisciplinary studies, and I'm a guard, like 1 through 3.
1 through 3. My name's Annika Shah. I'm from Palo Alto, California. Senior, studying business, contracting, and marketing, and I'm a point guard / shooting guard.
Questions, Annika. You've had some big games this year.
Big game.
The Seattle U game, where you had 26 points and 27 points, and the UCSD game. What is the feeling like when you got hot like that? And tell us how you keep that consistency and, keep that energy throughout the games.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing for me is just the consistency is still something that I'm really trying to work on. And, I want to be the same G every single day. And, whether my shots are not falling, then can I bring it defensively or just continue my leadership is huge, and something that I'm really trying to focus on. I think in those moments, it's actually funny. I think I was just talking to Kylie about this in the post-game interview, but when I get into those moments, it's crazy because everyone kind of always asks me what's going on in your head, what are you thinking, blah, blah, and the truth is I'm not thinking, and I think when I get into those zones, I just let the game come to me. I don't force anything. I just try to keep doing the little things to continue to help my team. But then I get into those zones, and I'm really just not thinking about it. So it's kind of been cool to see because I think, too, there's been a lot of games where I'm thinking about it a lot, and then I'm not seeing my shot go in. So kind of just to have that clarity, that unconscious mind kind of come to life is super cool to see, and I want to keep trying to tap into it, for the rest of the season.
Sid, maybe keep that mic because now we have a question for you. So you are a transfer athlete. You came from San Jose State. We were just wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about being a transfer and coming into this team, and maybe just what it was like and meeting all the girls, and just how is this adjustment and becoming a part of a new program is, big adjustment.
Yeah, for sure. I think coming from San Jose State, it was a big step. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hard just adjusting to the lifestyle of SLO, but then also basketball. Because where I was at, it was a very mental game for me. So just adjusting to Coach Stiers, and she's just like, just play, be free. I'm like, oh, I haven't done that since I was a kid. So, but yeah, it's just been a lot of fun just playing with Coach Stiers and playing with the girls, because they give me so much confidence in myself, and it's just really fun coming from where I was at.
Tell us a little bit about, maybe the differences that you have seen in yourself, a transition from your freshman year to your senior year, and perspective that you have gained now being the older leaders on the team. It's a loaded question, so take your time with it. But we love asking these questions.
The older I've gotten is how am I going to respond when I face adversity on and off the court? What is going to be my next step to bounce back? I would say my freshman year, when things get hard, it's poor me, victim mindset, but really trying to tackle or trying to get that perspective out of my head and just become a grown woman in a sense. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned coming into here. How are you going to be a grown woman? How are you going to respond? Because real stuff is going to happen in the real world, job, family, career. So I think practicing that now on the court in front of an audience by myself is something that my younger self probably wouldn't have.
Okay. Yeah. That's
cool. Yeah. That's a great answer. Great. I don't know if I can top that. I'll say there's a bunch. I'll say probably one of the biggest things I'm proud that I've kind of grown into is just the leadership roles that, me and Sid and, a couple of other seniors that were put into kind of, for me, it was kind of at a young age, not too young, but our sophomore year when we had the coaching change where I was kind of given that leadership role, and I'm like, I'm coming off a freshman year, didn't play that much, was here and there, pretty inconsistent, and now you're given this huge role, and you're like, what do I do with it, right? And, I'll say I've failed a bunch in my leadership, but that's only helped me grow and just learn and, how to talk to people and how to listen and, how to make sure that you're the hardest worker so that everything you say is justified and things like that. But I'll say, leadership and player-led teams is something that Coach Dyers and our coaching staff really, really emphasize. And, they always say that player-led teams are the championship teams. So it's something that we've been a huge, huge leadership role these past 2 years. And, again, like we've messed up here and there, but you just continue to learn. And, I feel like, our senior group has done a great job of just continuing to hold people accountable, hold yourself accountable, which is probably the number one thing, but also continue to, just push each other, but also make it a fun environment.
What advice would you give your prior self coming to Cal Poly, before coming to Cal Poly?
I think transferring in, or even just like my freshman year, just being want to be a perfectionist, and like that's not how life goes. And obviously basketball teaches you, basketball is a game of mistakes, but I wish I would have told myself, don't take life too seriously. Laugh when you want to laugh, or laugh when things get hard, just to like uplift your spirits, and someone else around you may need that. So it's not just for yourself.
That's
like
great.
that.
That's great.
That's a great answer. I would say, God, this is one of those where there's a couple,
Yeah, hard to pick.
I'll say kind of the biggest thing I think for, in general, just college athletes, like when we hit our senior year and you're kind of like realizing that there is an end to it, just you kind of look back and you're like, I wish I didn't take certain things for granted. And not necessarily saying that we never gave our all or anything like that, but there's maybe a practice my freshman year that I can look back to and I'm like, I wish I gave more. I wish I worked a little harder here. I wish because all those things add up. And I think being able to, not take anything for granted and just attack every single day is something that is pretty abnormal for people to do, but if you have that mindset, you can be great. One more thing is gratitude is, the number one thing. I think at times, as Sid was saying before, you can victimize yourself with how hard your schedule is, waking up at 6 a.m. for practice and all that stuff. But then there's days where there's times you have to realize that there's only 1% of us playing Division I basketball, right? And it's like, it's a gratitude thing to be here, to be in this beautiful place, to be at Cal Poly, to be at Mott Gym, to be with your teammates. Again, don't take it for granted, but also like appreciate every moment, because not everyone gets to be in your shoes.
Yeah.